My name is Michael Rivera. I will be performing Brittany's process for making hot cocoa from scratch, and let's see how it comes out. Okay, so right now we're looking at Brittany's process, and the first thing we are interested in is the precondition. So right there under precondition, we can see that all supplies are clean and on the counter. And I noticed this is the first mistake we all make. I think I actually did it on my assignment too. We don't specify what the supplies are. So normally, we could be at a dead end right there, but just for the sake of carrying this on, I went through the process to find all the necessary ingredients and tools and came up with the best I could. Now, I don't have a stand mixer, so I have the little hand mixer, little electric hand mixer, and I do not have whisk attachments. Best attachments I got right there. So, and I don't have a metal bowl. I have this glass bowl, which I'm actually really worried about using that. With that, could have a problem. But since we're looking at this in the terms of programming, you could tell a computer that a brick is a squirrel, and it'll think a brick is a squirrel. So I'm just going to say that's a metal. That's a metal bowl. A computer won't know different if that's what you tell it is. And that's my stand mixer. Just due to the fact I don't have a stand mixer. And without it, this process will not work, because step one, or actually decision one, if you will be making your whipped cream with a stand mixer, then action one, place mixing bowl and whisk attachment in the freezer for 10 minutes. Otherwise, place metal mixing bowl and whisk in freezer for 10 minutes. So, right there, we don't have an option not to make the whipped cream. We have to. There wasn't a otherwise don't make whipped cream option, so we have to make the whipped cream. So I'm going to take my metal bowl and my whisk attachment, and I'll place that in the freezer for 10 minutes. Right now I have the time at 9:38, and I will be back after that is done. Okay, I have the bowl and the attachment in the freezer, and in the process of me moving around, I realized I'm moving around too much to be making a video. So I'm going to try to smooth things out a little bit for everybody. And we're going to move on to the next action, which would be mix a half a cup of sugar, a quarter cup of cocoa powder, and a dash of salt in a medium saucepan, or in a medium saucepan. I said it like there was more and there wasn't. So that's actually, yeah, we'll say that's my medium saucepan. Hopefully it's big enough. Let me just reread it. I have my half cup sugar, my quarter cup of cocoa, Hershey's cocoa, of course, and a dash of salt. So there we have a dash of salt, and I will be back with the next step. Okay, I have. Oh, I didn't fully finish, so I'm going to finish this process. I didn't do the mixing. Alright, I am not comfortable with all this fine cocoa powder right next to my MacBook getting mixed about. Alright, now that process is finished, now we're going to move to Decision 2. If spiced hot cocoa is desired, Action 4. Add 1 teaspoon of ground cinnamon. Now, I do not want spiced cocoa, and I do not have the cinnamon out to make spiced cocoa. So we're going to move on. We're going to decide not to have spiced cocoa. So we'll move to Action 5. Alright, let's go back to Decision 2. If spiced hot cocoa is desired, add 1 teaspoon of ground cinnamon. Stir in 1/3 cup of hot water. Place on stove over medium heat. Stir occasionally until boiling. Stir for 2 minutes once boiling. Stir in 4 cups of milk. Stir constantly until heated to desired serving temperature. Remove from heat. Stir in 3/4 teaspoon of vanilla extract. Ladle cocoa in a desired mug. Remove metal bowl and whisk attachment from freezer. If using a stand mixer, then assemble the stand mixer first. Otherwise, add 1 cup of heavy whipping cream and 2 tablespoons of sugar to metal bowl. Mix/whisk just until cream forms stiff peaks. Spoon desired amount of whipped cream into cocoa. Fill mug. So all those were steps for making spiced cocoa, it would appear. There isn't after Decision 2, there isn't a otherwise skip cinnamon step or... So after Decision 2, it appears that if you want spiced cocoa, you just continue to follow the directions. If you do not want spiced cocoa, the process stops here. So that just seems like a easy oversight, but in the terms of this whole assignment, this is as far as I can get with my hot cocoa. So the post condition, I should have a hot mug of cocoa with fresh whipped cream. I have a bowl and mixer in the freezer with this in a pot. So I'm going to be right back with some suggestions, and because I have all these ingredients, I'm going to go ahead and make it the way Brittany intended, because it seems like she knows how to make a great cup of cocoa. So I'll be back. Okay, so my first suggestion would be give an option for whether or not you want to make your own whipped cream. It's not hard, but not always the easiest thing for some people. And yeah, make it optional. And make it first, because it's kind of time consuming. If you make the hot chocolate first, it might not be hot anymore by the time you're done with this. This took me a good 15 minutes of whipping, 15 to 20 minutes, so make this first, get it out of the way, then move right back over here now that I got the whipped cream no longer flying all over the place. We'll move back to our nice little pot with our sugar, cocoa, salt mixture, and enter our password. we're back. So we got the ingredients in the pan. Still don't want spiced cocoa. We are going to stir in the third cup of hot water, which the water I had prepared was, I'm doing some risky stuff with my laptop right here. Seems like that's hot enough. Double to 1/3 cup. So. Alright, so that looks like it's about 1/3 of a cup. Add that to our cocoa mixture. So far, let's say decision 1, if you'll be making your whipped cream with a stand mixer, then action 1, place mixing bowl and whisk attachment in the freezer for 10 minutes. Otherwise, place metal mixing bowl and whisk in freezer for 10 minutes. Action 3 should be make whipped cream, which is another suggestion I have down here. You say mix or whisk just until cream forms stiff peaks. There should be a point in there where you have to check. Maybe mix or whip for so long and then check for stiff peaks. If not, continue to mix or whisk. Move that up here. Once we get the whipped cream taken care of first, we'll do the mix the 1/2 cup sugar, 1/4 cup cocoa powder, and a dash of salt in a medium saucepan. Alright. Don't want cinnamon. I just added, I didn't stir in that 1/3 cup hot water. Place on stove. You could even have your pot on the stove prior, possibly, but this works. I'm no longer actually following the process. I'm just making suggestions. And I want cocoa. Stir occasionally until boiling. Got my stove set to medium heat. And I need to start mixing this. I know there's probably somebody out there mad that I'm using. And alright, here's my finished product. I got a nice hot cup of cocoa with homemade whipped cream melting all over the counter. So this is the intended post condition, but actually not. Excuse me. It is not the result of the process. I just kind of went ahead and went through with it because it sounded amazing. So thank you, Brittany, for the recipe, and wish you the best of luck in class. And I'm giving you all a bonus squirrel. Enjoy.